We are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie, and today we are going to talk 49ers latest news and, of course, Kyle Shanahan's presser. It was a good one. We're going to check it out and see how it goes. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everyone who comes to watch this. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button already. I'd certainly appreciate it. So first thing we're going to do is jump right in there so that way we can get it right out of the way and see what we can do. All right, let me bring it up. Gonna bring it up. There it is. Hold on. And all right, let me go ahead and share the live real quick. Share the screen. YouTube dashboard. No, that's not what there it is. Okay. All right, and bam. Okay, bam. All right, here is Kyle Shanahan's presser. He looks so depressed. Let's go ahead and watch it.
I wasn't in charge of it. Okay. It's tight in here.
Kyle, this free agent
It's tight in here. That's what she said.
As a coach, I know that these are decisions that are made upstairs, but just how did you take the stuff, all the guys leaving and very few guys coming in?
I anticipated it. I've known it's coming for a while. But no matter what you're anticipating or ready for, it's still not very much fun. Going through it, a lot of guys you care about, a lot of good players to see go, but as part of this business, it happens to everyone at some time, and that's just where we're at right now.
Sure.
We really needed a number 2 blocking tight end. Losing Charlie without, we haven't been able to replace him yet. I thought Eric came in and did some good things for us last year, but for Luke to be available where we got him price-wise and everything, we thought we got one of the better blockers in this league, and someone who can also bring some stuff in the pass game also.
Does that rule you out for a tight end in the draft? It's supposed to be a good draft at that position this year.
I don't think we're ruled out at really any player, so none of that really rules us out, but definitely helps us going in the draft, having a little bit more depth there.
Why? I think people are like Luke Farrell, who's this guy? Why would they pay a decent amount of money? But why is a number 2 blocking tight end so important in your offense?
I think it's one of the critical things in running the ball. To balance out the offensive line. To balance out 2 sides of the formation. When you have a threat to go to defensive end on both sides of the ball is a big deal. Kittle's really good at pass protection. But you don't always want to use a guy in pass protection who's really good in routes and everything. So having another tight end with the length to block defensive ends is important. So you can double team the inside guys with an O-line and get someone like Kittle out on routes.
When you're going after Mac Jones, do you rehash what happened in 2021? I'm assuming he thought he was coming to the 49ers at number 3 overall. Did you have to address that with him?
No. I talked to him really after we signed him. So, it wasn't – I think he knows what happened. I talked to him a little bit after the draft 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever that was. So, had a small relationship with him since then. And it's kind of funny to put all that time into him in the draft and to wait 5 years later, but having him on our staff. Having him on our team and everything we're excited about and excited to get to work with him.
What do you like about him?
I just loved how he played the position, especially in college. He got the ball to the right spots, didn't take sacks, would hang in there and get hit, but distribute the ball to his playmakers, and seen him doing it at the NFL at a high level, and we're excited to get him working in our offense.
For a guy who comes in as a rookie and starts, what's the mindset now to be the backup? It's a different mindset, isn't it, to be?
Yeah, but I think he went through that last year in Jacksonville, so I think he understands that role. And I think his mindset is just being the best quarterback you can be. When you come in as a backup, you can't always do that on Sunday. You got to be ready every week just in case, because you never know when a guy's going to get hurt. But to come in and get the backup reps to work with us throughout all these phases in the offseason to go into training camp, I think he has a chance to improve every day. And from what I hear about him as a worker, I think he will.
Kyle, what were your thoughts on the two defense players you lost to Denver, Greenlaw and Farmer, and how much did you try to potentially retain those two guys?
It was tough. I mean, those are two players. First of all, just two great players that have helped us a ton. Two great people, two of my favorite guys just to work with in my career. So it was really tough losing those guys, but Denver got two great players and two great people. He's just a playmaker. The way he communicates back there, he calms all the other 10 guys down. He's really great in the secondary. He's got great anticipation, and when he's out there flying around, he makes defenses better.
Have you ever gone to visit a prospective free agent?
This is huge!
No.
Get a one-time free Triple Carl's Cheeseburger. Yes, free!
No ads. Bad
To
ads.
try
Bad
to
ads.
retain him?
Bad.
No, that was our first.
Bad.
What was the thought process behind that?
Man.
Why was he the first?
It just worked out that way. I mean, we would have done that in the past if it came down to it. But, when you're going through the recruiting part, when he's committed to someone else, we wanted to see Dre face to face. And he happened to live in Texas, so it was a little farther. We couldn't just meet him at our facility. So John and I wanted to fly down there and talk to him and give ourselves one last chance.
But why not sign him before free agency even begins? I mean, why wait until he's agreed to a deal with another team?
Well, we tried to. There's negotiating tactics and everything. And you're also, it's not just one player at a time. You're working 20 different things at a time. You're trying to get a backup tackle. You're trying to get a quarterback. You're working on linebackers. You're working on safeties. You're working on all these positions. And they don't just go in order like that. You're negotiating with agents. And these things happen. Sometimes you see something on Twitter, just like you guys saw. And then we still like another shot. And we took another shot, and we weren't able to get it done.
Why release Juszczyk and then bring him back 4 days later?
It was financial things. We wanted to do that before free agency started. I think you guys saw how much money we got rid of. I'm trying to balance out how much we've spent here over the last 2 years, and everything comes to balance with that. And Juice was part of that. Then after all free agency left, and we saw what we had left, and what he saw was out there, then the number we came to at that time worked for us and worked for him.
Having Robert Saleh back in the building, is it any different this time around, or does it feel like he never left?
It feels like he never left. We got so many people in our building that was here when Saul was here last time. It's really great to have him.
Hit that like button if you haven't that like button already. I really appreciate it.
Saul the first time where we came in and we took over. Our defense was ranked 32nd at that time, and having to build it through a couple of years and get it to where it was in 19, and then watching him doing it with another team for over these past 3 years, and just bringing him back, the experience he has with that, the experience we have doing that together, and I feel fortunate to get him back in the building.
What's about DeMarcus Robinson that made you guys sign him?
Just playing against him. I earned a lot of respect for him. I've always been a fan over him since he came out of college, but really playing with the Rams these last 2 years, the style he played with, how physical he played in the run game and the pass game, and we always respected his game, and we didn't want to have to go against him anymore.
Can you play the X?
And a good eye
Yeah,
too.
you can play all three of the spots.
When do you expect to have Brendan and I on the field?
I don't know. I mean, it's too early to tell. I mean, the goal is always early. I mean, you hope to have it right away, but and then we're told that by his doctor and everything, there's a chance, but it's too early in the process. We'll see as we get closer to training camp what that looks like.
Now, will you guys? I mean, there are still some, notable free agents available. Like a guy like Calais Campbell, for example. Are you guys done adding veteran players? Are you just looking to the draft?
And I think right now we're looking to the draft. I mean, we got 11 draft picks. I know just from a coaching standpoint and our personnel department, that's really all we're focused on right now and working at. But we're gonna try to improve our team as much as possible until week 1, and then you try to do it throughout the year.
Would you have made the moves that you did on the defensive line if the draft weren't the way it is at defensive line? I mean, are you looking at the draft and saying that we can kind of rebuild?
I mean, I think we're looking at all positions.
According to reports, that's not going to happen. But we'll see, man. I hope so. I hope you're right.
Anytime
I hope you're right.
and you're in the top 5 and spending for about 5 years in a row, you got to balance that out. And that's what a lot of those tough decisions were with some of those guys. I mean,
Fix
we
your
let
camera.
go of some guys who can still play and who are really good dudes who, we wish we still could have. But that's how this league is. I mean, that's why this league, there is a lot of parity and it balances out. We've been fortunate to have a lot of these good players for a while. We've been fortunate to be able to re-sign a number of our players we've drafted. But you can't always do that forever. And all those decisions with the D-line, that kind of tied together with everything in the situation we're in.
When those decisions are made, do you push back at all, or do you want to know why that's necessary?
Yeah, I'm a part of it all. It's not like you're just sitting down there and all you know is coaching and blowing a whistle. I mean, you understand how the salary cap works to a degree. I don't understand algorithms and all that and things like that, but you understand how it balances out, and that's why you do have to make some tough decisions. You do that every year. That's why you can't always just swing for the fence. If you do, it's going to balance out over the years, and that's why the NFL is a pretty balanced league.
The Rams went through a similar reset maybe 2 years ago and have done well with it. I mean, is that a guide for you guys to be able to reset the financial part of it while bringing in young, especially defensive players?
I mean, that's a perfect example recently. I think Buffalo's similar to going through it. I think when we got here, we really tried to build this through the draft. And then we did most of our finances on re-signing our own players. And when you look at our breakout year at 19, I think that was the second year of a third-round pick in Fred Warner. It was the third year of a fifth-round pick in George Kittle. It was the first year of a fifth-round pick in Greenlaw. And we had, I think it was the third year of a sixth-round pick in DJ Jones. We had a lot of draft guys that we were able to work with and build in. To have a lot of success, and to have success again with those players for the next 5 years means you retain most of them. And now you're sitting there and you can't keep doing that forever. And the cool thing now is we still have been able to retain some of those guys. So it's not like we cleaned everybody out. We still got a bunch of guys around here who are big-time players.
He looks like Damon Bruce.
And still continue to do a lot here in the future.
I'm not gonna lie, he kind of looks like Damon Bruce.
You'd like to address in the draft? You feel like you're set with McCaffrey?
I mean, I think you always hope to address it every year. I mean, of course we're set with McCaffrey, but I mean, every single year that we've gone through this, except for
ads, no bad ads, always bad ads are bad. Bad ads.
2 years,
bad.
We've gone through 4 running backs, and most teams do. So you always got to be prepared for that. But Christian's healthy; he's doing great. We got Isaac in there working. Just pumped to get Patrick back, and we'll see if we have someone in the draft. But you'd like to have one every year.
Did Isaac show you in his first year? Was he enough for you to be okay with letting Jordan Mason go?
Yeah, I mean, it was. Didn't want to let Jordan Mason go either. Jordan's a very, very good player. But it was just with the price and the backfield and where that was going with everything. We and having to tender him as a 2, knowing he would get taken, and where that price went, we had to do that financially. But Isaac, I mean, what you guys saw last year, Isaac's a big play guy who can run hard. I was impressed as a rookie just how tough he competed, how hard he ran. He ran harder as the year went, which is a very good sign for guys because if you run less hard as the year goes, you're probably not going to be running it too much in the future. So I was impressed with the mentality he had. He's going to find a way to take care of his body so he can, stay healthy and get through an NFL season. But I think the future's bright for him, and he should continue going in the right direction.
There's so many offenses that are kind of run a lot of what you do in the NFL. What's your process in the off season for trying to figure out the next thing to do? Like, do you have a process for just where you want the offense to go that might be a little bit of a new wrinkle from year to year?
Yeah, I always try to do that. I always try to study offenses and what people are doing, what we're doing. But most of creativity or stuff that you come up with has to do with not just making stuff up. It has to do with thinking about how to use your players. So when you get certain guys or you get a different guy, it intrigues you a different way. And like when we got Christian, that opened up a lot of stuff. Having George over the years has opened up a lot of stuff. Having a player like Debo adds new ideas and things like that. And we'll see when we go in this draft what that can do. But you always got to try to stay ahead of the game. But you don't just do that with just drawing plays in a napkin. You do that with good players and thinking how to balance them out.
But along those lines, do you do that when you look at guys in the draft, whatever the position is, like, oh, this is how we could use it?
Always. Yeah. When you look at a guy, you understand their height, weight, and speed and what their talent possibly could be. But if you don't have a plan on how to use them, it's a lot more risky drafting a guy.
Are you looking for somebody, I don't want to say like Debo, but somebody like Debo in the sense that is a little bit different than, Ayuk is? I mean, you want a creative player on the other side there.
I mean, you want a difference maker, however that is. And Debo is a difference maker. He had his own way of doing that, which is different than most receivers.
How about that? Not anymore.
It's not like we were going for saying, hey, we need a guy just like Debo. But we're just in the second round, and we want to take the best playmaker possible that we feel can fit in our offense. And you got ideas how to use people differently, but it doesn't mean you have to use someone a certain way. And when you get a guy like Debo, you want to use the skill set as good as you can. And I felt like we did that. And Debo gave us a chance to do that. He was a unique player who was really fun to have, and someone I definitely didn't want to lose. But you go into the draft, and we'd love to get someone like Debo, but Debo's very unique. So you just see who's there, and you try to get the best player you can, and whatever his skill set is, it's up to us coaches to find a way to use it.
Well, you mentioned that you knew this was coming. The guys leaving. Obviously, part of that is you can only run it back so many times with the guys you have. But when you decide that Purdy is the guy you want as your quarterback, how much does that then influence? Like, oh, there's going to come a reckoning at some point. We're going to have to clear out space for that too.
Oh, I think that's definitely the deal, and that was one of our reasons why, we traded up to go get a rookie quarterback 4 or 5 years ago, whenever that was. We knew we had a roster that we thought we could compete with for a while, and we thought we were going to be at the back of the first round for a few years with those draft picks. So we thought in order to maintain that roster, if we could get a rookie quarterback, we'd be able to pull that off. And we obviously did that. We traded up. We got very fortunate in being able to pull off that plan with Brock, but that's kind of allowed us to keep this team for a while. When you look at like teams who, and I believe we're in the top 5 spending the last 5 years. But if you look at the other 9 teams in the top 10, all of them have paid a quarterback. So that shows us whether we had paid a quarterback or not, still we're up there too much. This is why we've been able to pay all our own guys and really retain most of our own people. And adding the quarterback part makes it that much harder, but it was something we're going to have to do anyway.
Given that, how certain do you have to be that the quarterback is the guy that you want for such a long time?
You need to be certain on that. Yeah, I mean, you pay a quarterback, and that's not if you're certain about that. It's not going to be very fun after that.
You've had some prolonged negotiations and holdouts the last couple of years. Are you prepared for a potential holdout at the quarterback position?
I hope not. And, I know Brock doesn't want to do that. We don't want to do that. I mean, no one wants to do that. But
I wanted to do that.
These are negotiations
I'm kidding.
between agents and our organization. And it's over a lot of money and stuff. Those aren't just things that you just knock out right away. But I believe that we will. I hope that we do. And hopefully it won't come in any football stuff.
Burford, because the injuries, was playing tackle at the end. Are you looking at it more as a swing tackle now, or still a guard?
He's capable of playing really all the positions. So it's really where he can help us out the most, where he can get the most comfortable at. I think as he's showed us, especially his rookie year, he has starting ability at guard. We believe he has that at tackle too. And it's really where it's just going to balance out the most and where he can come in and compete and give himself a chance to earn a starting spot.
He's the dopest dope you've ever
possibly
smoked.
Be a swing tackler or anything because he's got that type of ability.
How did you assess Jake Rendell's play last year?
I thought Jake played well. When you study centers throughout the league and things like that, and you watch all these guys, I think Jake's up there when it comes to his pass protection. A lot of these guys get mismatched against head of noses and some of the D tackles they got to go against. I think Jake does protection as good as anyone in this league, and I think he's always been a very good run player for us too.
Will Tennessee factor in at all? Would there be any sort of competition at that spot?
I didn't really look at it going in as Jake's competing. I think Jake's played at pretty high level. I think our whole line has.
I just, this stresses me out more than the Brock Purdy contract thing. I hate caring about my team so much. I hate caring about football so much sometimes because it's like, why do you think he's good? Why do you think he's good? Because he's not. He's not good at his job. I don't understand. I don't get it. Oh my God, dude. Okay, I need to breathe. Okay, dude, he fucking sucks. He sucks. He sucks. I'd rather keep Jake Moody. I'm not even kidding. I would rather keep Jake Moody than Brendel, man. Brendel's going to get Purdy killed. I just so tired of this, dude. I'm so tired of the Brendel shit. I'm so tired. Like, between what John Lynch said yesterday to what he's saying now, man, I try to let it go. And I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to say, oh, we like him. We think he's good. Blah, 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 blah. And they're aware. They are aware of what's happening. They know what people are saying on social media. They're not oblivious to what's happening. It's just, Jesus criminy. It's like, God. There's literally a 5-minute video on YouTube you can find right now of Brendel just getting his ass beat and thrown around, dude. You can go find a 5-minute video of Brendel just getting his ass beat. What is Chris Forrester showing you to make you think this? Not to mention Chris Forrester is the assistant head coach now, by the way, guys. I can't think of his name. What's Nick Sorensen of the offensive line is now the assistant head coach. So sick. That's Brendel shit. I'm so sick of it. All right.
It's going to be hard losing Banks. It's really hard losing Jalen Moore, who's been a great swing tackle, has got to play a lot with Trent being down half of last year. So those are the things that we got to really look to replace. And getting Hennessy there at the end of the year, we've always loved him at center. He's been a very good guard. We do have an open spot with some open competition there, but we'll see how all that plans out. That, going into this season, going into OTAs, going into training camp, I do feel there will be as much competition on our team for starting spots as there has been in a while, especially on defense. But we kind of want to create that everywhere. We haven't had that for a while. We've gone into drafts these last few years, not as much last year, but especially the 2 years prior, to where you look at our board and it's like, man, we don't really have to find a starter anywhere. You got to find depth, because quickly they're a starter with an injury. I remember going into 3 years ago and felt the only starting position we could find was a kicker, because we were so solidified. And it really isn't that way this year. So we're going to go into this draft, hopefully add 11 people. We'll see how that plans out, add them into our OTAs, and hopefully we'll have some really good competition come training camp.
So left guard would be Zakel, Barch, and maybe Hennessy, all kind of looking in at that spot. Yep. And what about kicker? I mean, will you bring in
the hell just happened?
A veteran kicker to compete with?
What's happening?
With Moody.
Yeah, we're going to bring someone else in. I know
Why are you loading?
We're going to go out and sign a guy right away at free agency, but I know Grant and Colt are looking into some kickers throughout all these kicking camps throughout the colleges and stuff. But we'd more likely like to add in a veteran and hopefully get him in here after draft time.
Val in the house. What's happening? Why is this?
How would that competition happen? Would it be? I mean, Jake's a pretty good practice kicker, but how do you create that pressure that maybe he hasn't done the best?
I mean, you have him compete every day in practice. You get the preseason games, and that's about all you can do. But I think when you bring in a guy and you make it serious competition, which it will be, and he knows he's got to beat a veteran kicker out, as long as we bring in a guy who's capable of taking that job and Jake respects him. And that's what puts pressure on him, because you got to respect the guy you're going against. And he does have to beat him out in practice. Yeah, the games will happen once the season starts, but the preseason will be there. And when your job's on the line doing something, going against someone who's talented, you do feel that pressure. And I do believe if you can overcome that and beat out a capable guy, and that'll show us he's ready for the season.
Would you sign that guy after the draft, you think?
I believe so, yeah.
Where is Mitch at health-wise?
He's doing good. Just talking to him. He was around the facility a few weeks ago. He's been meeting.
Like the live, you have like live every day. Please appreciate it, guys.
Coaches. But they say he checked out fine, so he's doing real good right now.
Now, let me ask you, I know you already asked a bit about Greenlaw and Bongo. What the Broncos are getting, and I want to ask you about your dad, too.
You guys got two awesome players, man. The way they play, is as inspiring as anything, and they're as two cool people as it gets.
And then your dad means so much to Broncos fans. We know that the Hall of Fame is coming. I guess how excited are you about that prospect when it happens? How frustrated are you that it hasn't happened yet?
I don't want to upset anybody, so I'm not too frustrated. I think it's a matter of time, so this stuff's got to pan out. I know there's a number of good coaches there in line. I think they're all up against it. I think they'll all get in eventually. We can sit here and be upset about what order it goes in or whatever, but I know he deserves it. I know a few other people do too, and I hope they all get in sooner than later.
Speaking of coaches and experience, how does a coach evolve? Obviously, you've seen it from your father's level. How does a coach get better in terms of strengthening their weak areas or issues that they have to address?
That's every season you compete and you go against different things. Every Sunday there's a different game. There's a different way to win. There's a different way to lose. You have different injuries every week. You got to deal with different situations. You have all these thoughts and stuff going in, how you're going to deal with them, then you get to go through it. And not every way is right. Something you do right one week might be wrong the next week. So it's constantly evolving. You got to always study. You got to always evaluate yourself, evaluate the people around you. It's never set in stone on anything that you do, and so you constantly got to work, and you can never relax.
What kind of player are the Colts getting introduced for?
They're getting a hell of a player. Mooney was awesome for us. Loved having him. I know he went through a lot of stuff this year, and I was really impressed and earned a lot of respect how he handled himself. I think it'll be good for him to get a new start, a fresh start, especially some of the stuff he went through this year. And just like some of these other guys have been talking about, you guys got a really good person and a very talented corner.
Do you interest as a guy who's next to him?
I do. I think he showed splashes of that last year. He plays to our style. He loves to run and hit. I think we got a taste of that last year. I think we all did. And now I think he's just working on his body, trying to improve so he can stay healthy and play the way that he does through a 17-game season. But he's shown that potential, and we'll bring in some competition here in the draft, hopefully. We got some younger guys and not many that haven't played, but there's going to be a lot of open spots there. And I think we got some hungry guys who are excited to earn it.
Where does Bethune fit in there? It seemed like he played a lot of middle linebacker last off season. Is he in the mix for the outside spots?
Yeah, he is. If you look at our group, they're all in the mix, and I thought Tatum did a good job learning the Mike linebacker last year. But you want to know all the spots, and he's a guy who's capable of doing all those spots. And the more reps he gets, the better chance he'll have.
Is that the best way to do it, to learn middle linebacker, and then the others become a little bit more easy because you?
Yeah, and I don't think everyone can play Mike linebacker. It's just to play the game a certain way and have to make all those calls and checks. That's for some people, and it's not for others. So you don't want to put everyone in that position, but it is important. It's just like center almost. And there's a lot of stuff you got to deal with, and you got to make sure that you have a few people on the team who can do it. We've been very fortunate on how healthy Fred stayed and the way he plays, that we haven't had to worry about that too much, but it is a big deal when that mic changes.
For so long, you guys have valued the defensive line so much, put a bunch of resources into it. I'm guessing the last couple of years hasn't been what you envisioned. Why do you think you haven't been able to kind of, get that right here in the last couple of years?
I think when you have, we all got a little spoiled in 19 when you have one of the best D lines in the history of football. That's very hard to maintain. I thought we've done a good job of having a very good D line for a number of years, but to keep it at that level isn't the most realistic, and that is our goal. That's what we believe in. That's what we believe, wholeheartedly. John and I both. What helped him win a Super Bowl when he played, and what's got us close, to me, always starts with the D line, and that's something that we've tried to maintain. Always having a great player like Nick helps. That's something we're always looking to build, and when you can't have it that way, we're going to still be working to try to find and get it that way.
How much has Robert been involved in all these decisions that you guys made during free agency?
We talk about everything. So, whatever, we discuss this with all the coaches. I discuss it with the coordinators more than anything. So, that was one of the main reasons, or most excited reasons, for me to get Robert back. I know how good of X's and O's he is, and how well he just runs his side of the ball. But going through this with Robert once before, where we really had to build it and change things up and add things and take things away. I went through it with him once before, and we did a pretty good job at it, and we learned a lot going through it, and he's only learned that much more having to do it again on another staff. So having his experience with that and the experience we both have going through it together it's made it a lot more comfortable for me just being able to use his expertise because we both done
Creates his bodyguard,
Talking
his
to
escort.
Robert, how high up on the list of fixes is the run defense, and how much that slid last year?
A lot.
He had a good preseason
It
last
was
year.
for all of us, and our run defense was tough, and especially as the end of the year went, losing some of those D linemen, it hurt us. Losing Hargrave hurt us a lot more than people realize. Not having Trey throughout the whole year hurt us. The linebackers that replaced him hurt us. So that's something that we knew we were thin at going into the year.
He took
We
a
had
shot
couple
at
injuries that
Campbell.
made-
He took a shot at Campbell. Did you hear that? The linebackers that replaced him hurt us. Love it.
It harder.
He took a shot at Campbell
kinda
there.
hold it
Good.
on.
Good.
And that's why we're somewhat starting over with it. I mean, you had a guy like Nick, you have a guy like Fred. You still have some really good players in there, but we do have to hit on some of these draft picks. We got to add in some youth, and we got to change it up a little bit.
And I remember in 17 and 18, before you were really loaded up with players, the one thing the defense was good at was run defense. How much of that is a testament to Robert schematically? How good is he against the run?
I mean, Robert's gonna. It's not necessarily how if you have good players and you have a good scheme, you should be good against the run. And so that's where you try to make it. When you lose players or someone's getting after your scheme, how do you adjust it? And I think the experience that Robert's had, he's had to do that over the years. That's stuff we had to do last year where we knew we were banged up. We had to do some different things. And when we did some different things, it was hit or miss. You get a few guys out of a gap.
Definitely miss.
But you're being a little more risky than usual. And now they break a 60-yarder, and now your run
Definitely
stats
miss.
completely messed up. So that's stuff that Robert's gone through a bunch. He's done it in New York. He's done it here. And you always want to be able to add it and fix it with personnel. But when you can't fix it with personnel right away, you got to do it with scheme. And Robert's been successful doing that with both.
If Sala were to get a head coaching job after this year, it'd probably be a good sign for what he did for defense. But what kind of conversations do you have to have with him about that? Just given the fact you've been through so many coordinators the last few years.
I mean, you understand that's his ultimate goal, and that is for almost every coach. So, I mean, if we had a hell of a year and we lost Sala to another team, I'd be happy for him, disappointed for us, but I think that would mean we were doing some pretty good things too. So that's something you got to be prepared for in this league. We are in offense, we are in defense, you got to be on special teams, and it's something everyone's got to deal with.
Like how you scale back some salaries of free agents while remaining competitive, like you guys have done. Is that done by feel, or is there more method to that process?
Done by what?
Like you have to scale back some of the roster, cut some salary.
Yeah.
You guys have done while remaining competitive. Like, is that process done by feel, or is that more of like a method to it?
I mean, both. I mean, there's a lot of numbers involved, and they're all connected. And it's easiest for me when it's just salary cap math over 1 year. I can do addition and subtraction. But when you have to do signing bonuses with other years, and when it accelerates to a certain year and all those different things, it can get very complicated. And that's why we got a lot of smart people to work on that. So we knew this was coming. There's certain things that we decided on last year to try to make it a little less going into this year. But we knew it would be big this year, and it's just part of it. I'm not enjoying it, but it's something we're going to get through, and I think we'll come out on the good end here in the long run.
Does it lower your expectations? Like a year ago, we're talking to you, everybody's thinking Super Bowl. When you have to go through that kind of off season, does it lower your expectations?
I don't think it's about lowering expectations. It's about it's kind of the position your team's in. And, we lost the Super Bowl in overtime before last year. That's all anyone can think about. I mean, the offseason, you're not even thinking about. You're thinking about getting to week 1. And that's kind of how it was for us last year. And we took our shot. This year, we had a bad year. We didn't do good. We didn't make the playoffs. So all we're talking about is how do we get back to playing good football. And we've known we lost a number of players. But what we look at here is I don't think about necessarily season's expectations. I think about how good we can get in the draft, how many people we can add into that. Then you try to build it throughout phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. It's all about practicing, getting back to just focusing on that, not focusing on trying to make up for a Super Bowl loss, try to make up for anything. It's about becoming the best football team you can be and nothing else. And when I do believe we get to week 1, I believe everyone in our building will be confident that we can win that Sunday. And I believe we'll be that the next week. And that's the goal for me, to try to practice and build a team where we genuinely believe every Sunday we have a chance to win. And if you can do that 1 week at a time, then you never know where it ends up. That's how we felt going into 19. That's how we.
Wow. Ads? No.
You like it?
Bad ads. Bad. 。
Some seasons are better than others, but just because you aren't on paper always picked that way doesn't mean you sit there and be like, all right, this year's going to be different. No, I want to get to work more now than I probably have in a long time. I can't wait till our players get back. I feel like we've been away from them too long. Having all January off was different. It was nice to get a little bit more rest, but I know we're itching more to get back to phase one. I think we'll have a hell of a turnout with all of our guys, just talking to them. And we're ready to get back to work and find a way that we can go into week one confident as hell that we can win that game.
Kyle, defensive line, do you see an obvious starter on the D line right now on this, as the roster is currently constructed besides Bosa?
Yeah, I do. See an obvious one. See a couple obvious ones. But they're so obvious, I'll let you figure them out.
Okay. Can you just give me a hint?
No. There's only a few, so you should be able to guess. There's 4 spots.
You mentioned having more competition this offseason than you've had in a while. Do your assistant coaches have to take a different approach too? I mean, is that aspect of the team going to be different
Strawberry in
as
the house.
well? Given that you're going to have a lot of young players in, I mean, do they have to sort of kind of start from scratch almost?
To a degree. I mean, your team turns over a lot anyway, so every year we start from scratch in how we teach. But I do think it's a little different that, like, our standard's been set by we've had so many players who have owned those spots for a while. And so some rookies come in and they just sit back and watch those guys and they learn the standard to where I don't feel we have as many guys as we have in the past, where we got to re-show that standard to all the rookies who came in last year, all the rookies we're adding this year. We have guys who know how to work the right way, and football means everything to them. But half of our team hasn't seen that. And so I think it's important that we still go out and prove that to each other every single day, starting in phase one, where in years past, it's, all right, man, that last game was a tough one. Like, let's get to OTAs, let's make sure everyone's healthy, and let's get to training camp and start going. Where I don't look at it that way. We have too many guys who don't know what we've been through over these last 5-8 years, and we got to show them that in phase one and how we work and how we go about things, and really reestablish the hard work that we earned when we came into this.
Are you able to step away a little bit more? Can you delegate more than you have in the past few years?
I think, yeah, with Saleh and all our coaches, like the offensive staff has been around these guys for a while. Clay Kubiak is as good as it gets. I mean, Chris Furster has always been the most important guy to have. Having a guy like Brian Fleury, who we just gave him the title of run game coordinator, which he's been doing for a couple of years, but just so everyone can realize what he's been doing. I have an awesome group of guys that I can delegate a lot. I have to. And the only way you can do that is if guys know what you want and they're trained to do it. And I feel we got as good of a staff as we've ever had. So I feel very fortunate in those times.
I agree. I think it's the best staff the 49ers have had in quite some time. I think that's some of the best staff in a while. You got Robert Saleh, Brant Boyer, two of the best guys you got there. I mean, you still got Nick Forrester on the squad. Chris Forrester, I mean, so technically it's not the greatest, but theoretically speaking, it is better like than usual. So you have the guys who could scheme it up theoretically, right? But so some of the things they talked about that reason why I wasn't talking very much during that video is because I kind of wanted like it to go through and then just kind of respond to it afterwards. So don't worry, I wasn't just like it's sad and shit. I kind of just want to talk about the main things that really popped out and stood out the most. Not necessarily things that like there's some things people ask them like, how do you learn from coaching, or like how do you feel about this player and stuff like there's things like that, But I'd say the biggest one out of that, the biggest highlights out of all that is the Brock Purdy thing where he says, hey, I want to get it done. I don't think he should hold out. I don't want him to hold out. I don't think Brock Purdy wants to do a holdout, and everything's going good. And that's pretty much the vibe. I think it doesn't get done until at the end of May. That's pretty much like been the vibe. That's pretty much been the preaching around the NFL is that this deal is going to get done in late May between Kawakami, between what Brock Purdy wants, between what John Lynch has said about, hey, that's not too optimistic to think that it can get done by then. It sounds to me that this deal should get done by the time like Brock Purdy comes in for mandatory minicamp probably till the end of May. So look for that kind of like date. But I'm telling you right now, like once it hits like mandatory minicamp, it's gonna be. I think shit's gonna hit the fan if that were to happen. And I got the vibe that I was wrong before when I predicted when Brock Purdy was going to get signed. My expectations were clearly way too high. But it sounds to me, just based on what I'm hearing from everyone around the league and from the front office and Brock Purdy himself, like all this should be wrapping up around late May. So if we can just hang tight, be patient, Brock Purdy's not getting traded, everything's gonna be fine there. The one thing I did find kind of interesting was the fact that he says that the D line is like they got lucky with the D line. And it's like they didn't get lucky with that D line. They drafted that D line and they happened to have that D line in 2019. And then he says that's kind of like been our philosophy and stuff like that. Has it? Are you sure? Because last time I checked, you barely draft that thing. You draft it, right? But you seem to go for more wide receivers than you do anything else, or corners, or literally anything else. Like you say it, but I don't know if you're doing it though, man. If you're saying that like the D line is the reason why you win Super Bowls and shit like that, that's a wild thing to say right now. I think that's absolutely crazy, dude. So hopefully that him saying that though is a sign of things to come. Hopefully that is a sign of things of saying, hey, this is what we're going to do from here on out. That hey, we're going to draft some D linemen now. We're going to fix it, get ourselves a great D line. But him saying shit like that it's a little unnerving. It's a little like, you're seriously saying that right now? You're seriously saying that right now for the past like 3 years, our D line's been meh. It's been quite meh. All right. It's been pretty bad. The next thing he talked about was the thing between Dre Greenlaw. He says they missed out on because of the negotiation tactics and things of that nature. Well, I mean, you win some, you lose some. I understand that, but if like you get to the 0 hour of the if you get to the 0 hour of tampering period, that's when you put in your final offer. Especially after hearing there's five or six teams that were trying to go after Dre Greenlaw, and you had a better offer than all those guys. I think that was. I understand that you had to have negotiation tactics. I understand that you have to, but he had more power in this negotiation situation because more teams wanted him. So you should have put your best offer out there when the negotiation period kicked in. You should have put out your best offer in the first place. That's when you should have done it, not wait for a certain amount of period of time. I thought that was kind of weird. Like I feel like there's something missing with that situation. I feel like there's something we're missing because it doesn't quite add up. Like something doesn't add up. Maybe it is because Dre Greenlaw was going to say no regardless, right? Maybe Dre Greenlaw was going to say, I don't care if you give me more money. I want to go somewhere else where I want to be the captain of the ship. He has said that. And maybe John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan going down to Texas to meet him was just last-ditch effort to be like, hey, we're going to pay you more money and we really want you. So maybe because there's something missing there. Like, I'm not lying to you. Like, there's something missing, and I think they're just kind of like wanting to sweep it on the rug and just kind of want to move on from it, which I understand. You win some, you lose some, but, it's just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. Like, I'm fine with moving on with Dre Greenlaw, but clearly they were not. So it just kind of, from their perspective, I think it's just a little weird. Then next up, the Jake Brendel thing. All right, I'm not going to – I try my best to not freak out about it. I'm just breathe. You know what I mean? Just like, okay, it's not for sure. It's not announced yet that he's a starter or something like that. It's just – it's definitely leaning that way. It's definitely angling for a Jake Brendel starting, and it is frustrating to hear. But I'm telling you right now, the moment if I hear that Jake Brendel's a starter, I'm going to lose my shit. So I have to, for the sake of my own sanity, just wait until it is declared that Jake Brendel is the starter. Hopefully Hennessy can show up. Please, Hennessy, be better. Please, God. Ben Bartz, Drake Nugent, Zakel, somebody, please. I beg of you, be better than him. Blackmail Chris Forrester more than Jake Brendel is. Do something. Just save me from this agony. I made a poll recently talking about who you guys would rather have. And it's kind of crazy that 8 of you out of 8 votes, only 8, but still, some of you said they would rather have Jake Brendel than Jake Moody. I think that's kind of crazy, actually, if you really think about it. I think that's actually crazy. I would much rather have Jake Moody. I'd much rather take a shot on Jake Moody being potentially good again, because in his rookie year, he wasn't that bad. And then he had an atrocious second year, but his third year, than Jake freaking Brendel and getting your guy freaking killed. I would much rather have Jake Moody than Jake Brendel. Jake Brendel is the weakest link on this team. I hate Jake Brendel. I hate it. And Steve-O said that's a tough poll question. I agree. When we were talking about it earlier, I was thinking to myself, like, my God, that is a tough question because they're 2 weakest links, 2 players the 49ers fan base wants to get rid of. And if there's one guy that I know will not get better, that I know I don't believe in at all, it's Jake Brendel. While Jake Moody is somebody like, yeah, I want him gone. I want kicker competition. I want this. But Moody at least is young and can learn from everything. And actually, like, I'm just trying to weigh them. I'm weighing them. Like, there's more of there's way more of a better outcome with Moody than there is with Jake Brendel. Like, Moody's not protecting my quarterback. The Brendel thing, I know I'm trying to, I don't want to stay on it too long, right? Because I don't want this just being a whole show, me bitching about Jake Brendel, right? But I don't fucking get it. I don't understand. It's like an abusive relationship, man. What is it? Like, if you want to say he's good in the run game, sure, fine. But you want him, you said that he's good in pass protection when there's literally a 5-minute video of this guy getting his ass beat in pass protection. Go on YouTube. There's a whole highlight reel of it. I don't understand, dude. I don't understand the Jake Brendel thing, dude. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna move on. I'll move off of it, but it's just Hennessy, save us, Hennessy. That's all I can say about that. And then, so that's pretty much everything that really kind of matters. Everything else was kind of like babble or whatever. So I kind of just want to ignore that. There were some fun things he responded to, of course, but I thought those made great Ringlaw thing, Brock Purdy thing, the Brendel thing, Moody. He obviously talked about how Moody is there's going to be a competition for Moody. So there's a bonus competition where Moody is going to have to face a veteran, et cetera. So that's good. That's a bright news. At least there with Jake Moody, at least they are bringing competition and they are stressing it like, hey man, this guy, we're going to bring in a vet to really push him. And like they're doing their due diligence. Like they're going all out on trying to find a better kicker than Moody. I love what they're doing there. I like the approach they're doing there, saying, hey, we're going to keep him on the roster. We're going to go out and get a veteran like Nick Folk, hopefully, or Matt Prater, one of the two. Then Brant Boyer is going to go look at the XFL, is it USFL? USFL? Canadian League, whatever. Brant Boyer, the special teams coach, he's going to go out and look for a kicker. He's going to do his due diligence because I made a video earlier, but just kind of reiterate myself here. Brant Boyer is not Jake Moody's guy. Jake Moody is Brian Schneider's guy. And so Brant Boyer, who's a very good special teams coordinator, knows what he's doing. He's responsible for a lot of all-pros and pro bowlers on special teams. I trust him to make the right decision. It's kind of like with Robert Saleh. Like if he were to pick a defensive player, I'd trust him on it. If he said to Kyle Shanahan, hey, I don't need a safety, I could work with Jair Brown and Mustafa, I would trust Robert Saleh. It's kind of the same thing with Brant Boyer. I trust Brant Boyer. He has the reputation. He has the resume, to kind of respect his opinion. So they are going all out. They're going to do their due diligence on the kicker situation. I love that. That's a bright spot of the entire thing, is that the two weaknesses, which is Jake Brendel, it sucks they're leaving that alone, but the other weakness, which is kicker, they are addressing. So I will give them props for that. They're not ignoring the kicker thing. So that's huge. And again, it's going to be a Brant Boyer decision. Brant Boyer is going to build his. You can clearly see that Brant Boyer is building his special teams from top to bottom. So we'll see how it goes there. And then one last thing about this whole situation. Kyle Shanahan looks absolutely miserable. Not only does he look absolutely miserable, he looks like Damon Bruce. I'm not trying to take a shot at Damon Bruce here, but Damon Bruce, he's 55. I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan's 40. He looks 15 years older. Like, let me bring up a picture. Let me bring up a picture. Let me bring up a picture. Let me find a picture that looks like. All right. So where's it at? Stop screen. Share screen. All right. All right. You're going to tell me that guy. Damon Bruce right here does not look like Kyle Shanahan. You're going to tell me this guy right here does not look like Kyle Shanahan. I'm just saying. Bar for bar, dude. Bar for bar. Dude needs to smoke pot. Something. All right. Shout out to Damon Bruce, man. Shout out to Damon Bruce. No hate, just saying. All right, let's get to some of these comments. I'm sure you guys got some response to things I said. But that's the gist of everything that happened with Kyle Shanahan. So in his press conference, I'll get you guys comments right now. Who's the guy in the back? I think that was his escort, his bodyguard type guy or whatever. Told me, hey, you gotta go here, you gotta go here, you gotta go here, kind of type guy. I think Curtis Robinson might be a sleeper for the linebacker spot. He looked good in preseason. Yeah, he did. Before you guys' injury, yeah, he looked really good. But he's more of a Mike linebacker. He's more of a backup Fred Warner type guy. There's two different linebackers that the 49ers use, and they're kind of thin at that Dre Greenlaw spot. The only person they have really, I feel like, on this team that's a Dre Greenlaw-esque player is Bethune. And Kyle Shanahan did talk about him, how he loves Bethune's mentality. He just has to put it together. Kendrick screwed us over. Screw him. If Saul leaves this offseason, Gus Bradley would probably replace him. Not this offseason. I think he meant next offseason. I think that's what you mean. Juan agreed. Hope he comes off the ACL tear and performs. Did Solid tear his ACL? I could see Utur Gross-Matos starting. He could set the edge, but I don't think we have a starting D tackle. Neither do I. I do not think so. Utur can play inside and outside, but on a reserved level, not a starting D tackle level. You know what I mean? So I like Utur. I do. I do think I agree that D tackle is way just so thin there. You got nothing going on there. It's pretty bad. Jeff in the house. What up? What up? What up? Jake in the house. What's good? Fried chicken. I love fried chicken. I'm a big fried chicken fan. I love mashed potatoes. My favorite dish is mashed potatoes, fried chicken, and corn with some gravy. I can eat that every single freaking fracking day, man. Love it. Love it. So that's what's good. I tell you that much. Tough poll question. Yes, Strevo, no doubt. But I'm definitely going to rather keep Jake Moody. Pick your poison type poll for sure, Wine. Moody, kickers see the field less often, and with a good offense, with a good line, you will score TDs much more often than field goals. See, Jake knows what's up. Jake's not even a 49ers fan. He knows what's up. He knows what's up. Combined with a good defense, yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. We got Robert Saleh, man. Robert Saleh can work with some Robert Saleh can work with the what is it? with some rookie D linemen. I'm sure of it. Wolfie, did that beautiful reporter Lindsay Perez ask Shanahan a question? You know who I'm talking about. I didn't see and there's a few women on there, man. I don't know. I actually don't know who that is. I genuinely don't know who that is. But Jeff's got a crush. Everyone point and laugh. Jeff's got a crush. Ha, 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 ha. You got a crush. I'm kidding. Who's it? Lindsay Perales? Lindsay Perales? Lindsay Perales. Images. That's not who I'm looking for. Is that her? No, there's a lot. Hold on. I actually don't know who that is. I genuinely don't know who that is. Not gonna lie to you. Also, Moody can improve and wasn't bad his rookie year. He wasn't bad his rookie year. Second year was pretty bad, pretty atrocious. But you kind of expect more from him. But I do think that Moody has a better opportunity to improve than Brendel ever would, because Brendel's old as shit. And there's no room for growth. You know what I mean? So I'd much rather do that. Regarding the staff, we also have two future DCs in the staff, Bradley and KJ Wright. After he gets some more experience, KJ Wright was such a good linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks, man, so good. Bradley, you're not talking about Gus Bradley. He's already been a DC. I don't think he's that great. A lot of people love Gus Bradley. Not me, man. I'm not a Gus Bradley guy. 49ers media, though, loves Gus Bradley. He's a huge Gus Bradley guy. He's a former Seahawk. He is indeed. Did you watch the Jed York interview yet, or just watching Kyle? I was just watching Kyle's. I have watched the Jed York clip that was most important, which was talking about Brock Purdy's contract situation. I made a video on that. God, hold on. My allergies kicking in. Hold on. I gotta blow my nose. So I'm on mute. All right. I'm ready, man. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I just blew my nose. That's all. Make it look like I did an 8-ball or some shit. All right. I did not. I watched the Brock Purdy thing where he talks about how pretty much the good vibes, he thinks that Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback, and that with Kyle Shanahan and what they can give to him and stuff like that, he could be even a better quarterback. So I liked what he said about that. I think it was great news. I thought what he said about the situation was probably the best you can get out of your owner, talking about with a current contract with your quarterback. I feel like that was well done and well said. I'm not the biggest Jed York fan. I'm really honestly not. But what he said there, solid. I actually thought what he said was solid. I thought it was great news. Some people are spinning it into like a bad thing. I don't understand how you can. He's literally said everything possible that's good. Like, imagine you're in his shoes talking about the Brock Purdy contract when you feel good about the Brock Purdy contract. You feel good about the Brock Purdy situation. I feel if you put yourself in his shoes and his perspective, I feel like everything he said was great. I thought he handled that perfectly well. I didn't think he said anything that was crazy or made me second guess whether or not the contract would get done. I thought what he said about Brock Purdy was phenomenal. There is one thing he said that I disagree with. He says, I'm not involved with the contract negotiations. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You straight up said that you saw the agent of Brock Purdy. You had a great conversation with him. You said that you, Kyle, and John Lynch have gotten together and talked about Brock Purdy and what you should pay him and what, like, things of that nature. What do you mean? Yes, you are. Clear as day, man. Like you literally admitted it by saying you talked to the agent, which involves the contract negotiations, and you talked to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan mid-season saying, hey, Brock's our guy. We should pay him. I know the sacrifices we have to make, and this is what we're going to do. Yes, you are. Stop trying to make your hands clean. You're part of the negotiations, man. Val says, good show. Hey, thank you. Appreciate you, Val. Appreciate you. Yeah, Jake, he's the defensive quality coach now. I thought he was something else, but could be wrong. Yes, KJ Wright, the former Seahawks defensive quality coach, I believe. I thought he was just a linebackers coach. Isn't that a downgrade? Isn't that a demotion? I could be tripping. Wright recently represented the Niners by coaching the D-line at the Senior Bowl. That's true. He got a good look at Mike Green. I heard that he was really hands-on with Mike Green. Very handsy. They drafted 0 to 5 defensive linemen last year. I know. It's kind of weird for them to say, yeah, D linemen's so important. Like, I defended them a little bit. Like, yeah, they've been drafting some defensive linemen. They haven't completely been ignoring it. I will give them that. But for how much you preached about how important D lineman was in that video, yeah, you're not doing that. I thought that was crazy for what they said there. How important D lineman was, and they're not. I mean, technically they did by signing. Technically they did by signing Hargrave, some other signings of that nature. But there was still some holes. There was still concerns that they did not address with that D line. That I kind of thought to myself, maybe they're getting away from that philosophy a little bit. They are addressing D-line a little bit, but maybe they don't know how much they need to go to make a great D-line. Because Hargrave, even when we signed him coming off that great year at 30-something years old, right? I thought that was bad. I did not like that signing, by the way. You can go back and check. There's proof. There's video proof. I did not like it. He was just a pass rusher. So you just needed a D tackle that could stop the run. And we didn't have that. I didn't understand that. I did not understand that. Maybe that's why their draft last year was so successful. Good point. Strawberries coming in hot. Pause. Strawberry, yeah, it could be one of those. Use one. I know I was joking just since they suck at drafting D linemen outside of Bosa. Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, what? They got Samo. No, they didn't draft Samo. They picked him off practice squad. They got what's D lineman that worked out that they got, even though it's not really many to choose from. They had Samo, but they picked him up, so that doesn't count. Evan Anderson looks solid. DJ Jones, they've drafted. So that's 2. I guess 2? I guess they've only drafted 2 good defensive linemen ever. And those are like late picks. DJ Jones, and I guess undrafted kind of counts because they go out of their way to get the guy. I still count undrafted as kind of drafting a guy, sort of. So I still, because they still do the prospect, they still sign him, et cetera. So I kind of count that. So, yeah, they're not very good at drafting D linemen. They got 2 solid ones, though. Although they have found some okay depth pieces in Clea Davis and Evan Anderson. I'm not a Clea Davis believer. A lot of people are, but I'm not. The Niners suck at drafting D-line, so this upcoming draft is going to be very important. I know, dude. It's going to be so important. They actually do really good at corner. A lot of people say they don't do good at corner, but I disagree. They have more hits at corner than they do have misses. DJ Reed, Deshaun Jameson, Lenore, Green. There's another corner as well. I think they just missed on Ambry Thomas and Samuel Womack. That's about it. I think they missed on. Strawberry, yeah. All I know was DeForest Buckner, but he was a Trent pick. Yeah, he was a Trent pick. He was. The DeForest Buckner pick, I was against that at the time. Not my greatest take. Not my greatest take. I actually think Evan Anderson has started potential, but he needs some time. I agree with that part. He does need more time. He does need more time with that D-line situation. It's just that you cannot – he could be good this year. Evan Anderson could be a good starter this year. He could turn out to be a number 1, but that's a chance you're taking, and that's a chance that we can't risk. We have to go into the draft, into this offseason, assuming he's a second depth piece kind of type guy, right? You can't. It's just too much of a risk there to assume that. But I do agree that I think he does have potential to be a starter D-tacking. I just we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But some other better defensive acquisitions were Amenu, Ebukam, pickups like Samo. That's true. That year we got Ebukam and Amenu, solid pickups. I think that was 2023. I believe that was, or was it 2022? 1-2. That's probably what they did in 2024. They realized like, hey, we're not doing very good drafting, and that's probably what happened in 2024. What happened in 2024? They realized they weren't good at drafting D linemen, so they're like, hey, we had some really good luck picking up free agents such as Menu, Ebicom, right? They did at the time, like they were picking up some good D linemen, but this previous year they tried it. They got Floyd, they got Collins, they got this guy, they got that guy, Uturgos Matos, etc. And it just didn't work out this time. So now they have to go back in the pool of the D linemen. So they kind of did what they were supposed to, which was go into free agency because that did work for them in previous years. It just didn't work out this year. They're starting Jake Brendel. Unfortunately, they're making it clear last couple of days they're idiots. 110%. Man, I can go. You guys heard me. You guys heard me. I can freaking go on for days. I could go on for days about that. So but yes, I don't understand the Jake Brendel thing. So was Armstead. He was a bulky pick too. No, I'd rather have Moody. Same, Moody. I'd rather Moody because you can move off easily and find a guy. Brendel's the worst player ever. True. Spitting hot fire, Jeff. Spitting hot fire. Because if we can upgrade center and run the ball in the red zone, it would improve the red zone offense, and we wouldn't need Moody as much. True. I agree. If you would need Moody maybe half as much time, which is a lot less than usual if you actually had a actual good starting center. Someone that at least was mid. You're not even like that's the bar. Like you're not asking for an elite center. You're just asking for a mid-ass center. Like I'm just asking for a mid-ass center. Okay, I don't care for the best. I just want one that's better than Brendel. I want one that's better than the 31st ranked, 40th ranked center. All right, I want a mid-ass center, and I'll be happy with that. And that will translate into touchdowns from the run game to the play action, the red zone. It's a big deal, and I don't get it. I swear to God, I'm missing something. If Brett was a starter, hopefully Bart is such a good left guard. He improves him. True. I mean, technically, having a better guard can help the center. That's true. It's a positive way. That's pouring water in the cup there of Jake Brendel, Juan. Hey. Juan's putting some water in the Jake Brendel situation. I like it. My $50 million quarterback at that. Let's pay Brock and not protect our investment. I don't understand that, man. You think you would. Like, to not think that O-line is important is just seriously insane to me. Like, if this was Madden, in Madden, you can get away with a poor offensive line and still win games. But this isn't Madden. This is real freaking life, man. Like, it's just real life, you know? Oh, I got to blow my nose real quick. Allergy medicine needs to hurt and kick in already. It's taking forever. Wolfie's ultimate crap. Dude, you have no idea, man. You have no idea, dude. It's like Jake Brendel is your guys' defense with the Bengals, man. It's atrocious. He could have at least said it will be a competition like he did with Moody. He kind of said that at the back end. He did say, like, there's going to be competition, like, everywhere. You know, and he did bring up Hennessy as a guy that they believed in. And he did say he did believe in Hennessy as a center. So he kind of said it was, but he's giving Brendel way too much credit. He needs to approach it like he did with Jake Moody for sure. Yeah, it was the Yap session. Brent, it will never stop as long as he's on the team for sure. We will see what they really think of the O-line once the draft comes. I know they did say tackle's important. They did recognize that tackle's important. They did recognize that the swing tackle position is important. And if you have been paying attention to the draft prospects that they've been researching, that they've been looking up, a lot of them are 6th round, 7th round, 5th round, 4th round draft picks that are projects, right? Like Grant, for example, I can't remember Christian something school. I don't know what it is, but he's like 6'7", got massive wingspan. He's your prototypical tackle kind of type guy. The 49ers have looked into tackles that are in the 4th or day 3 pick kind of type guys that need time to develop, but they have the size, the arm length, the athleticism. They're like your perfectly ideal kind of type tackles, but none of them that are regarded in like the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round kind of type guys. So look out for that potentially, that they will actually go after offensive linemen, but probably tackles to replace Jalen Moore, who they love for some reason. Well, Johnny Brown sucks, but if Solid trusts him, just kidding, he still sucks. Yeah, you are Johnny Brown's biggest hater. Hate the way he walks, hate the way he talks. Juwan, I'm giving Brown a second chance to help. Same here, man. I mean, he had one good year, one bad year. He deserves another opportunity. One bad year doesn't define your player unless you're a freaking kicker. Unless you're a kicker. He had a solid rookie year under Wilkes, and Solid is a better DC than Wilkes, in my opinion. Exactly. So I think he deserves another shot. I think Jerry Brown deserves another shot. He was Sorensen Fry. I think a lot of players were Sorensen Fried. Like, if you really think about it, like, just how much was it Sorensen, right? Not knowing how to use pieces, not knowing how to use players right in scheme. Why would he be so miserable? I don't know. Wolfie, they go out on Monday. He was clearly hungover today. He looks like that every year at the owners' meeting. He does drink a lot. Like, I mean, at the Super Bowl, he was drunk, dog. He was drunk. And I didn't like that. I lie to you. I didn't like that. I'd much rather him just 2 weeks of just constant focus on football, no drinking, and then afterwards do all the drinking you want. Winning the Super Bowl, of course. Can't believe we in 2022 we drafted Drake Jackson, Titus Price, Danny Gray, Nick Sakel, Burford, and Samuel Womack, all total busts. And for Womack, solid, but not on that team lucky we got Purdy that year. They got Drake Jackson, who had a huge upside. It just didn't work out. It just wasn't a good pick, right? Drake Jackson did have a huge upside. I didn't mind that pick. But the Ty Davis Price one, I didn't like. The Danny Gray one, like, I'm trying to approach this if you take away the retrospect optics of things. Drake Jackson, I didn't hate it. It just didn't work out. Ty Davis Price, I absolutely hated that pick. I don't know why we picked it. He didn't even fit the scheme, but I digress. Danny Gray, I didn't mind because we did need a deep threat guy, and he did have potential. It just didn't work out. Nick Sakel, I don't understand that one. Burford ended up starting for us 1 year, wasn't that bad, and after that became shit. Samuel Womack had a good start and then went downhill and then just kind of faded away. And then we got Brock Purdy. Exactly. Wasn't all bad. Can you please pull up a picture of Shanahan? I joined late. Jake, he wasn't miserable. He was hungover. He was hungover as shit. He looked like Damon Bruce, man. I'm telling you. I mean, the 2024 season was awful. 6'11" offseason drama, contract drama. True. That stop dropping bust. The 2022-2023 drafts destroyed our depth on this team. I would say I don't entirely agree with this but anyway, Curtis Robinson tore his ACL. That's what I was referring to. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's brutal. Final offensive club, he has much favoritism. Brennel's not a good center. Yeah, he's got to go. I don't like it. If Brennel's a starter, I feel bad for Purdy because he's going to have he's got to run for his life. He's going to be like, hi, oh shit. Wolfie, what's your take on the 49ers being interested in Landon Jackson? I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I don't like Landon Jackson. If we draft him, fine. But just know, I didn't want him. I didn't want the guy. Okay? Just know that. But if we get him, I'll be open-minded. I'm like, he better work out. He better be good. But I don't like him. He's got big size. He's a good power rusher, maybe a good run stopper off the edge. But I don't think he's that good of a pass rusher, if you ask me. I'd rather have Jared Ivey at 6'6", pretty much the same size. I don't care. She's bad as fuck. Ain't got a crush. Titus 49 is beside it. Play the best player. Every position needs competition. We have no starting defense. Kyle is wrong. I didn't watch the Jed York video. I just skipped to the end expecting some twisted April Fool's joke. Yeah. I don't do April Fool's jokes here. I'm not an April Fool's guy. I hate that. I absolutely think April Fool's sucks, and not in a good way. He's the most definitely a part of the contract negotiations. Kyle's the one who isn't part of a contract negotiation. It's Lynch, Parag, and Jed. I think that that article, I disagree to the extent of, I still think Kyle is part of negotiations. It's just not very pyramid-like where the top guy is Kyle Shanahan and then everyone else is below him, right? Decision-making kind of type thing. I still think it's those three. I disagree with that. I think all three of them are kind of involved. All four of them are still involved. So Forrester's lousy O-line coach. Yeah, I'm not a fan of him. Johnny Holland's a linebacker coach, and he's not going anywhere until he retires. I love Holland. And he's solid. I mean, how long has he been part of the 49ers? What was his name? Johnny Holland. Nothing but a Holland dog. Nothing but a Holland dog. Okay, yeah. 7th season with the 49ers. He's been around for a while. He's pretty good. Forrester's the reason to start. I think it's also Kyle too. I think that both are reason why they're centers. My worst fear is that all of the D linemen we draft end up. My worst fear is that all the D linemen we draft end up being Solomon Thomas, Drake Jackson, and Javon Kinlaw. Oh my God. Fuck. Joe is just freaking out. Joe's having a spasm right now. I know another YouTuber who said Josh Allen would be a bust. I mean, a lot of people did at the time. A lot of people didn't like Josh Allen. You know, they actually thought he was going to be a bust. I mean, I think Josh Allen got drafted, and a lot of people in the draft room, not the draft room, but like the draft stage, they were like, boo. There's a lot of people that didn't think Josh Allen was going to work out. That happens, man. You hit and miss. It happens. There isn't a single person on the planet that has, if they've done multiple drafts, have been right about a player. I've been wrong about a player. The guy who watched the most film has been wrong about a player. You're going to be wrong about a player. It's what really honestly happens. I disagree with this, Joe. I don't think you need to go best player available because you could end up being screwing yourself over. So I disagree with the best player available approach. I think that would be stupid. Always mid-ass center agree and mid-ass guards. McKinnon's performed like a mid-ass tackle. It was much better than 2020. Exactly. He was actually a mid-ass tackle, and it worked out. Jake, to be for real, what Allen has done with working on his mechanics and accuracy and actually translating into games is rare. 110%. I think a lot of people are down on Josh Allen. I don't know if I really had an opinion on Josh Allen, to be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to be great at the time, if that means anything. Like, I didn't think he was going to be bad, though, either. So maybe it was that. Be sure to hit that like button, guys. If you haven't hit that like button already, I really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. All right. Then you have an open competition at the center position. I agree with Joe. That's one thing we agree with. I think we need to have an open competition at center. Hennessy needs to be the guy. Hennessy's the guy. Hennessy is the guy. Wolfie, I was watching some film yesterday while hold on. I got the sniffles. It's crazy. I was watching the film yesterday while offensive Missouri versus USC and Memu game versus Alabama. Whole game. I'll tell you, man, he plays very smart. Great guy. Great out on an island with no help. A+ run blocking. He's fantastic, man. He's like the one guy. I'm going to make a video on this. So spoiler alert. I'm going to make a video about the one guy the 49ers draft and everybody on the face of the earth will be happy with. That's a 49ers fan, is Membu. You draft Membu at 11, you can do whatever the F you want for the rest of the draft. I feel like people would be like, hey, we got Membu at least. We can go Membu, running back, running back, running back, running back, running back, running back. And I'm like, you know what? We don't have any D linemen, but we got Membu. He's like the one player, man, that everyone would just be satisfied with. Him drinking sumo didn't bother me. You could tell he's uncomfortable in front of the media. If it helps mel him, that's cool. I don't know, but he was just wasted. I don't know. I didn't like it. The 49ers refused to draft offensive linemen in the first round. They drafted McGlinchey. That's not true. I don't think we was showing up to practice drunk. So that's true. I'll give you that. But still, like, you need to prepare, be focused 24/7 for the Super Bowl. Joe Boy, they picked McGlinchey at 1. Do they really want the draft O-lineman in the first? You don't have to. Like, there's only been 8 drafts, right? So it's like you can only draft so many positions. If Mummy was at 11, we should definitely take him. I'll keep studying him, though, but he has good footwork for sure, moves well. His only problem is his size. That's the only knock that people have given him is his size. And I kind of agree with that to a sense, but like if you moved him to guard, you have an incredible future all-pro potential guard, like for sure. I just don't know too much about his ability to I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe he can play right tackle, but he definitely can't play left tackle, I don't think. Yeah. Some people need to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Just that like button. Just don't break your computer, though. Just don't break that computer. Where's Papa J? I don't know. Hopefully he's doing good. Shout out to Papa J, though. Shout out Papa J. Shout out Gucci Man. You guys know what meme I'm talking about? Shout out Gucci Man. Eminem's not on the list. Who else is on the list? Eminem ain't on it. Gucci Man? Gucci Man's on the list? Shout out Gucci Man. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But after drafting Glinchey, they are too scared to draft all in the first. You could have PTSD. You only have so many first-round draft picks. They only have like 9. I mean, and you already used one on that. They haven't drafted a corner in the first round. They haven't drafted safety in the first round. They haven't drafted a linebacker in the first round. They haven't drafted running back in the first round. I mean, just saying. I'm concerned about Landon Jackson. He relies way too much on his physicality, which, to be fair, he is 6'7", but I'm not a huge fan of him. Yeah, just because you're 6'7", man, like, I agree with that. I think he's way too much power. Like, he's just all power, good run stopper, right? I think if you got him in the 3rd round, I wouldn't be upset. But for the 43rd pick, you can get some good pass. I feel like there'd be some pass rushers there at that 43rd pick. So I just saw Strawberry say that Reuben Foster. That's true. I forgot about Reuben Foster. I'll count. You're right about that. To be fair, Reuben Foster was supposed to be a top 5 pick. To be fair, I loved Reuben Foster coming out of college. I didn't give a shit. I cannot give the 49ers shit about the Reuben Foster pick because when they drafted him, I loved it. So it would be wrong of me to be like, hey, you should have drafted Reuben Foster. You're stupid. You're a piece of shit and all those things. It would be unfair of me to criticize the 49ers for the Reuben Foster pick because even I at the time loved it, thought they got a steal or whatever. And I'm not going to pretend like I didn't give the 49ers props or back them up with that pick and say that was great, right? So because I'm not a retrospect guy. Like in retrospect, if they knew that he was going to be this guy, I know they wouldn't have drafted him. But even with his attitude problems, I knew it. He was a top 5 talent at the time. He was somebody I really wanted the 49ers to draft, and we drafted him. So I cannot say anything. That was somebody I wanted for the 49ers to pick. So not in a good way. It happens, man. Sometimes all that sucking stuff is not a good thing. I want to be reaching on defensive tackle and at 11. Well, bright side, there's a lot of players at 11 that you're not reaching for. Mike Green, would it be a reach? Some people love James Pierce. That wouldn't be a reach. Nick Scorton, wouldn't be a reach. D-tackle Walter Nolan, some people think that's not a reach. Kenneth Grant, I don't think would be too much of a reach at 11. Derek Harmon, I don't think would be a reach at 11. There's a lot. You don't understand how good this D lineman class is, where like if you were to draft someone like that, it's not a reach. So you get a player that's at that value, and he's good at his job, and he's worth that 11th pick. So best player available? No, I would much rather get a guy you're not reaching for. That's a need. They'll start day one and is good at his job. There are plenty of those that are worth the 11th round pick. Between 11 all the way to like maybe the 40th pick or 30th pick, they're about the same tier of player. Like the players that are in this draft that you get at 11 is almost the same value or same talent, same reach as if you were to get a guy in the 28th pick. Like there's no real reaches in that general area. There's just so much good talent that's kind of the same tier. Who's the 4 who would say would rather have Brendel than Moody? Who's the 4 you say you'd rather have Moody than Moody? I don't know what you mean by that. Agree, Joe. They should trade back if they can. Trading back would be dope. I'd much rather them trade back, just in general. So, Shard, what do you like about Membu and his weakness? I love his balance, his footwork, kickback is fast, a good run blocker. I think his anchor can be better. Weakness, maybe anchor. I love everything about Membu. I mean, I remember when it was first brought up about Membu in January. I was watching 49ers Report with Chase Sr. I don't really watch him anymore, but I was watching one of his videos pop up of a mock draft before someone did for the 49ers. And Armand Membu came up. I was like, who the hell is that? We're going to draft some nobody at 11? Hell no. Went to go watch him. Oh, my God. I was like, okay, this guy's good. I was like, okay, this guy's pretty damn good. Not going to lie. So I'm a fan of Membu. I'm actually I've been a fan of Membu since I saw that. I didn't know who he was until I saw the report. I was like, I got to check to see who this guy is. It's exact, and he is that. He's worthy of it. He's good. He's good. Shamir Stewart will not get better. He has no. I hate Shamir Stewart with a passion. Kelvin Banks, Shamir Stewart, 2 picks I would hate. Hate it. It's a private poll. It can't be a private poll. This ain't no strip club. There's no private poll. You're tripping. You are absolutely tripping. Feet get behind him at times. Overall, he's Greta. I think he has all the measurables, and it shows on tape. When the measurables match the tape, it can't miss for me. He's got a great base, and I like his feet and move. I like everything about Membu. There's nothing I don't like about him. Membu would be a better pick, 110%, dude. I think a wide receiver. I think a running back. I think Amarion Hampton would be a better pick at 11 than Shamir Stewart. I'm not lying. I hate that guy. I despise him as a pick at 11. If you got him in the late 3rd round, 4th round, sure, wouldn't hate it. But for 11th pick, man, I'd much rather draft Amarion Hampton. 11th pick. Much rather do that. Trey Harris. Do it. Much rather see that. Not even kidding. Not Jihad Campbell. I'd much rather see that. A safety. Malachi Starks. Amon Awori. I'd rather see that. The only position I would not is kicker. Like, I'm being realistic here. I'm being real. The only position, like kicker. I'm like, at least we got a D tackle, and it's not just some kicker we got 11. I'd much rather see that. So, yeah. Not a fan of Shamir Stewart. I hate him. Oh, yeah, no question. Remember, own Shamir Stewart versus Texas A&M. Does saying Brendel give you flashbacks like saying Trey Harris gives me flashbacks? Yes. Yes, it does. It's terrible. Like Trey Harris, 218 yards. Oh, my God. 18 catches. Oh, my God. Like that. I'm probably going to throw something if this Stewart is a pick. It's going to ruin the whole draft. I don't know if it's going to ruin the whole draft. It's definitely not going to be a good start. I would say that. Everybody would be happy except Larry. Larry says that he doesn't know about Membu. Yeah, Larry's kind of different, man. Like he kind of rides his own. He rides his own wave. You know what I mean? He's like you got. There's one thing I like about Larry is that if he says something, he doesn't like a player. He doesn't like a player. And he's honest about it. You know, it's hard to hate on someone like that. It's hard to hate on someone who's themselves and thinks like doesn't just go with what everyone else is saying. You know, I kind of have respect for somebody who just if they don't love a player and they say they don't love a player, that's like, for example, he doesn't like Derek Harmon either, like you said, then I respect his opinion because he's not just saying that because, you know, everyone else is saying it. It's his own true opinion on that. Hold on, I got to blow my nose. Whew. Sorry, it's really windy outside. The allergies are crazy. My allergy medicine needs to kick in already. I don't know why it hasn't. Kyle always gets players in the first round that can't produce on the defensive line. I wouldn't say always, because he doesn't always draft defensive linemen. Drafts Solomon Thomas, Kinlaw, and that's it. And Nick Bosa, but Nick Bosa worked out. So he's 1 for 3. He's 1 for 3. His size is 6'4" and 330 pounds. It's heavier than any other first-round offensive tackle this year. He's 330 pounds at 6'4". That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Jed York is also like Jed Boyd, man. Just comes at all the he carries the weight of the hater juice for the 49er fan base, 49er coaching staff, ownership, and all that, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Little Wayne, exactly. JCK, man, knows what's up. Knows what's up. Reuben Foster, they traded back into the first. They did. Yeah, I can't either. He was that kind of prospect, but they ignored the character issues, and that's what happened. 110% talking about Reuben Foster. I thought he was going to be great, which is why I'm not mad if they don't draft Mike Green. I mean, they kind of used up their ticket, right? But Mike Green, I'm a big fan of Mike Green, man. I just like why can't players just be normal, man? Just be normal. Just be freaking fracking normal, dude. 4 people say they'd rather have Brendel over Moody in the poll. Oh, that's what you're talking about? Oh, 14 votes. We got 71% say Jake Moody. 29% say Jake Brendel. That's actually kind of wild. I wonder if they read the poll right. That's actually kind of crazy. I hope the 49ers have a great season next year. Hey, me too. I think they will. I think they honestly will. As long as they come out with a couple D tackles and a D end, I think it can happen. No, come on, running back the first round, Schmer would be insane. I'm just saying, dude. I mean, I hate Shemar Stewart, dude. You don't understand. I hate Shemar Stewart, dude. Like, my hate for that player grows by the day. The closer we get to the draft, man, the more it grows and festers in my soul and weaves its weeds into my heart. Wolfie, what other games from Membu should I watch the full games? I don't know. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched film on him. I don't know. You said you watched Texas A&M. Didn't they play Ohio State? I could be tripping. Mizzou schedule 2024. Iowa State, Michigan State, Oklahoma wouldn't be bad. Either Oklahoma. Yeah, I would say Oklahoma. Check out Oklahoma. I mean, they got Landon Jackson over there. 49ers want him. You want to see if you do that? Or South Carolina. So probably South Carolina or Oklahoma, one of the two. And let me know how Kyle Kennard did. Ferraz want to fix the offensive line. Now they settle. They're settling. No, but Larry used to love Membu, and now that some scout just said that, well, he's not ready yet, might need a year now. Larry doesn't like Membu all that much. He kind of, I'm not trying to talk shit. You know me. I'm trying to keep everything a little level here. But sometimes, man, he can be persuaded by scouts and professionals who cover the league. And again, I don't know his draft prospect evaluation, how it works. But I think sometimes when it comes to certain players, I don't think he always watches film, right? I think he listens to what people are saying about a player, and then he'll look up statistics on a player, right? And then he'll make a judgment on the player for doing that. I don't think he actually watches film all the time, right? So sometimes he's a PFF stat warrior sometimes, I think, with some of these takes. And also draft fatigue is a thing. Like sometimes you can love a player from the start, and then you just keep hearing about it, keep hearing about him, and there's another player you fall in love with, and then it just becomes like a thing. So like there is a draft fatigue kind of type thing that does take hold. And that's a good thing sometimes because that's how players fall in drafts because of draft fatigue. So yeah, Wolfie. So size for Membu isn't an issue. We'll see, man. We'll see. There's something about his size. Just don't take Genty in the first. Also, you said Shamir Stewart as well. But Genty could be best player available. And you said best player available. I mean, technically, if Genty's there at 11, that is best player available. So, yeah, the first round pick should be a trench pick, 110%. Yeah, I hear there's a wide receiver in the draft named Kyle Williams. Instantly sat the rest of the day after, dude. I mean, there's a couple 49ers content creators that are pushing the Kyle Williams train, man. It's absolutely hilarious. There's a lot of people. There's some people are like, yeah, we got Kyle Williams, man. I know he has that history, dude, but just don't give him number 10. Whatever. No. 13 years later, I don't give a shit. That still hurts, man. I watched the video recently. I made a video on it with Terradome. We watched it together. I didn't think it would physically hurt me that much. When I watched the Kyle Williams film, it physically hurt. Like my chest tightened up. I was like, oh, God, Kyle Williams, what are you doing? And then the one where it hits his kneecap and bounces off. Lord almighty, dude. Oh my God. Can't do it, man. Can't. Let someone else have Kyle Williams. Let us just learn our lesson the hard way. I'd much rather do that. I watched Membu versus Benny. It was great at picking up blitzes, and John Campbell blitzes 3 times and got 0 pressures against him. Nice. Yeah, Membu's solid, dude. I don't think I've ever seen bad tape on that guy or like anything bad really said about him, except for what you said, how Larry saw a guy say that he needs a year to work on his stuff. But I disagree with that, man. I see a guy who does it all. Membu does it all, man. And if size is not a concern, Membu is 110% the best tackle in this draft if you don't think size is a concern. And I'm tired of the national media saying we need a cornerback after losing Ward and mocking Johnson and Barron to the Niners. We're not agreeing to exist, people. Do your research. I'm seeing that too. I'm seeing that everywhere. I'm seeing that all over the place. A lot of people are like, well, after they lost Ward, they don't really have any depth. They have nothing good going on there. What are you talking about? Lenore is solid, dude. He was literally a top 10 corner last year, man. Like, I think I can't remember what kind of stat he had, but he had a really incredible stat last year. He's a second second team All-Pro. Solid corner, dude. He's a starter. He's in the top 32 corners. He's a top 10 corner in my book. He's good. Then you got Renardo Green, who had a solid year that looks great and fantastic. Like, you just need this 49ers team. He's a corner, yeah, but not a top 32 corner. They don't even need a top 64 corner. They just need a third corner. And right now in free agency, there are corners in free agency still that would be good as a number 3 that are still available. there are people in the draft that you can potentially use as a third corner, like later on, that you can get later on in the draft, such as like, trying to think of a good corner like Dorian Strong or Dorian Porter, the guy that is apparently the 49ers are huge on, report that Larry Krueger came out with. There are players later on in the draft that would fill that third corner spot. You don't need corner one, and corner one in all three corner spots. That is just unrealistic. That is just go way too far. That never happens. So I think that's crazy too. I like Will Johnson though. If we drafted Will Johnson, that I would love it because I'm a huge advocate for Will Johnson being a great player and a future All-Pro corner. I wouldn't hate it. But the fact that people are saying they have to get Will Johnson or they have to get I don't understand the Barron one from Texas. I'm not the biggest Barron fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. I'm like, okay, he's good. Right? Not worth the 11th pick. I don't see a future All-Pro corner, if you ask me. Will Johnson, I do. But yeah, the hate that Lenore and Green gets is wild. Absolutely wild. I watched USC one already. Membu was going against Dylan Stewart, top 10 pick next year, and Membu had him almost falling on run plays. He's freaking good, man. He's freaking good. He's actually good too. Some 49ers fans are mocking him to the 49ers, giving the rest of us PTSD. They are, dude. They're like, take Kyle Williams, man. He's a good player. He's good. And I was shocked, but that because Dylan Stewart's freaking beast, strong as fuck, ripped too. Well, if you have his size for Membu an issue, he's heavier than the other offensive tackle. This draft class, 32 and 34, with almost 34 length arms. Well, 34 is not the longest arms. 6'4" is not the tallest guy, And like I said, if you think that size is that issue, that's literally, if you don't think that's an issue, if you personally don't think it's an issue, like Jeff, you don't think that's an issue, best tackle in the draft. 110% best tackle in the draft. Kyle Williams is great. He'll be a dog. We need him. Juan, no, you're listening to Jason Aponte way too much. Stop it. We don't need that. Bad juju. Stop speaking it into existence. Bad juju. I just hope he doesn't wear number. That would be it's already Mac Jones. Mac Jones is wearing number 10. So thank God. But if he did wear number 10, you know the 49ers did that on purpose. If the 49ers straight up drafted Kyle Williams and gave him number 10, they know what they're doing. You know they're playing with fire there. It's such bullshit. But I would definitely say that I will say this. I have watched Kyle Williams. He is good. If his name wasn't Kyle Williams, I would not hate it. If his name was not Kyle Williams, I'd be like, hey, he's the guy. He's a guy you could draft in the 4th round. That would be fantastic. But I can't, for the life of me, let that slip. But if you're speaking film-wise, talent-wise, or whatever, he does look really good. I will be honest there. He does look really good. Definitely has the most muscle mass and shape than any other offensive tackle in the class. He doesn't have some huge gut and big arms. Yeah, secondary is very solid. Lenore is probably a top 10 corner. I don't understand why media says we got to go get cornerback after losing Ward. I'm like, he was off last year and we was fine. Yeah, corner was never really an issue except for Yadam. Yadam was kind of a problem. Yadam was bad. They Matthew Stafford purposely went after Yadam. They knew Green and they knew Lenore were shutting them down. And if you go back and watch some of the film, or if you paid attention during the games, man, they would purposely target Yadam all the time, dude. And Green and Lenore were just absolute shutdown. They were solid. But I would definitely say what's his name? Yadam was a liability. I liked him before the season started, but once the season started, he was getting torched left and right. I thought he was terrible. Bad news is I heard we were very high on Dorian Porter in like no man, maybe second round. Darren Porter, maybe not in this first round. So you wouldn't mind it in the second round? Maybe. I would. Dorian Porter, I mean, what is he, 6'3"? Ran like a 4'3" kind of type guy. He's got the size to play the corner. I don't think I've watched Dorian Porter, but I think I have to now. If they are big on Porter, I'm gonna have to check him out. But I mean, 6'3" is great size. He's got the great speed. I love that. But second round corner. Hold on. I don't know about that. Yeah. It says he's 6'1". I thought someone said he was 6'3". I thought someone said he was 6'3". He had 2 interceptions last year, 6 passes defended, 32 tackles, 20 solo, which is not bad. He ran a 4.5. Who did? Well, let's get Dorian Strong. Am I thinking of someone else? Dorian Porter. Okay, that's different. Okay, I was gonna say that's a different guy. Dorian Porter, not Strong. I was like, that's not right. That's not right. That's not correct. Okay, all right. He's 6'3", 195 pounds. He had 3 interceptions last year, 18 tackles for 12 solo tackles and 2 passes defense. He ran a 4.3 speed. He's 6'3", excellent height. Weight 195. That's about right. 200 pounds, you kind of want your corner to be, so that still kind of works. He's got good arms, 33-inch arms. Shuttle's 404. That's pretty damn good. His wingspan is pretty good, 79. 10-yard split is 140. Pretty good measurables. Tiny hands, though. Pretty good measurables, though. Projected to go in the 3rd round. I mean, I wouldn't mind him with the 75th pick. Him or Makuba wouldn't be bad. I mean, I kind of like his size. I like his ability. I haven't seen his film, so I can't really make judgment on that. But if you told me I had to make a judgment based on these measurables that I'm seeing here and his production, like in Madden, I would totally draft this guy. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd actually draft this guy. I'd rather have Trey Amos. A lot of people are huge on Trey Amos for some reason. True Strawberry, our secondary is actually solid, but it gets respected a lot. I even saw Grossi say cornerback at 11 makes sense. No, it does not, Tom. And I know you love Tom one. I love Tom too, but that's what happens though with like, how do I put this? Certain people get a pass, right? Where like Tom or that I've said this before on this show, right? You guys have been here. You guys heard me say this before. You know more about your team than anyone else outside of your fandom. So what I mean by that is like someone who's covering all 32 teams, you know more about your team than that guy. 110%. You've seen every rep. You've seen every game. You know exactly what your weaknesses are. You know exactly what point, more so than the guy who covers 32 teams. You just do. It's almost damn near impossible to keep up with absolutely everything. It's super hard. That's why like when people do 32 man mock drafts, team mock drafts for like the first round, it's not always great. It's because I don't mean this was an insult. It's just they're going to have casual takes. They're going to have outside looking in takes. So because I'm going to do a 32 team mock draft at some point. I'm going to do it. I was going to do it today, but I'm probably going to do it tomorrow instead. I'm not going to get it right. Some people are going to be like, dude, we don't need that. Or that group there was fantastic. Someone's going to say that about whatever team I draft a player to, right? I'm trying to do a little bit of research before I do it, but mostly no one's going to be satisfied with what I put there. Because I'm going to technically come in with a casual opinion. I'm going to have a casual take on it. And that's what Tom Grossi has. No offense, but that's the fact. He has great content. Love his content, right? Great guy too with that. Respect, but like just as much as I would have a casual outlook, he would have a casual outlook. But he would know more about his Green Bay Packers than anybody else, right? So there is that. Jeff, I don't think he would be picked in the first. Yeah, I don't think he'd be picked. If he gets picked in the first, that'd be crazy. There's also a Bills D tackle named Kyle Williams. I heard about that too. Solid D tackle. Solid. Now, if we drafted a D tackle named Kyle Williams, I wouldn't hate it. But you're not drafting a wide receiver named Kyle Williams. You're just not doing it. Let's make Kyle Williams our punt. And don't you put that juju on me, Bobby. Don't you put that on me, Bobby. Bobby Boucher. Was it Bobby Boucher? No, it's Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that juju on me, big Ricky Bobby. I know, but in the past, Lynch and Shanahan said hey, we don't care what other people's boards are. If we like a guy, we will take him. They have done that. That's true. I say play the board, though. Honestly, the 49ers should fly Kyle Williams out for a pre-draft visit just to have the team jump in the locker room. You guys are just fucking with me now. You guys are just purposely just – I see you guys. I see what you're doing. Frill and Oren Green are big names, so people don't recognize. But they will. They will. Watch. Pass defense was actually really good last year. It was a run defense that was ass and lost games. It really was. Like, our pass defense, I think, was like 5th in the league. We had like a 5th in the league pass defense. It was actually very solid last year. So people complain about that. It's actually kind of crazy. The run defense was just so atrocious. Does saying Kyle Williams give you flashbacks like Trent? It does, man. It does. I absolutely hate Kyle Williams. It can never happen. I don't care how good his tape looks. I don't care how good his film looks. I really don't. Can't do it. Yeah, I got Ronaldo autograph, and it was some Niners news channel of catching him. Sign my. Oh, that's dope, dude. That's dope, man. I would never wear it. That's dope, dude. That's cool, man. That's awesome. Like Ronaldo for the award replacement, both press man covers. I agree with that. He could do it. You gotta blow my nose. Hold on. All right. Dorian Porter, Iowa State. I know I kept saying it wrong. He's from the same college as Purdy. He is. Him and Purdy can, click. Right? Right. Makuba! I love Makuba, man. I love me some Makuba. Makuba is also a 49ers favorite as well. A lot of people love some Makuba. I'm just saying, a lot of people love Makuba. I mean, I love Makuba. Terradome loves Makuba. I can't really – I don't think I've ever met any 49ers fan or any content creator actually talk shit about Makuba or say, like, no, we shouldn't get him. Like, especially where you get him, especially where you supposedly can get him at the 75th pick, it's great value for a guy who you expect to start day one. So, 49er media in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I've been busy. I've been so busy that I'm going to end my channel. I just don't have the time now, man. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up anyway. You just keep it up, right? And then just do it when you can. And then when it's all over, or when your internship's over, whenever you have like a time or a break, get back into it and just slowly build it up. You know? There is, in my opinion, just as advice, I don't think there's any downside to just keeping it up. I really don't. I would keep it around just in case, right? Or do shorts if you can. Just do some shorts. Did you know that Kyle Williams, the 49ers, was drafted in the 6th round of the 206th pick? I did not know that. The more you know. I remember the shit Mustafa got when he got hit by Mahomes. He's a dog. That trash talk he got made so bad. It deserves some shit talking, though, dude. That was embarrassing. Okay. When I saw what was it? When I saw Mustafa come in for the hit, I was like, yes, it's happening. It was like in slow motion. And then Patrick Mahomes was just like, ow, hurt my finger. But he just knocked him over. And I was like, all right, well, Dad Bod wins. Dad Bod totally won there. Man definitely has the best drop back, the best kick out speed, and good pass punch. He's good, man. He's good. He's a good player. Very good player. No, says Jake. April Fools. Not cool. Val says hello. Showing some love. That's all I see. Right, 49ers media. By the way, Shamir Stewart did say the best offensive lineman against him was Membu, too. I mean, technically, every offensive lineman was, just to be honest with you. I know, man, it sucks, but don't got time. Sup, Val? Just keep it up anyway, man. Just keep it up anyway. And just do it when you can do it. Do it when you can't. It doesn't hurt to keep it up. There's no reason to delete it. You know, it's something you love to do. Keep it around, you know. Heck, sometimes I get some of your information. My information comes from your posts, by the way. Like the visits, right? The visits and stuff like that. I see those because of you, man. I see those because of you, 49ers media, on Shul. I see it because of you, man, that I know about some of these players that the 49ers are actually visiting. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just because you're not making videos, you're still bringing the news. Jason in the house. What is Talalofa? I have to know what Talalofa means. Trade down to the 206th pick and get Kyle Williams. You guys are killing me, man. You guys are absolutely killing me. Probably just gonna watch the videos, mostly posted at night. April Fools, got you. There's like that one person. Never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke. That's just mean. Jason, showing some love. Hey, that's what I like to see. Media, I slid into your DMs. Oh shit. Guys, we're seeing a love relationship. Just build up, man. All right, guys. Maybe some good things are gonna happen here. That's awesome. I'm shooting you guys a heart, man. That's great. I think you guys would be great for each other. You guys get along with each other. You know, I think you guys should, I mean, I recommend, there's a good restaurants I recommend. There's some good restaurants. Juwan or trade up from 20 to 27. I swear he's not going to be there at 206. So I'm not even concerned. He's going to go in the 4th round, the very latest. He's a good wide receiver. So, yeah, Mahomes is a dad, but he's got that strength, that sleeper build type. He does. He has that body. He does have that dad bod. Yeah, for real, because like Shamir Stewart had any seconds in one. Not for real, dude. He didn't have any kind of production, dude. I met before the combine, before the Senior Bowl or whatever, the Reese's Bowl or whatever it was, where he shined out, where people loved his size and athleticism. He was still regarded as like a 2nd round pick. Wild to think that. It's absolutely crazy. Appreciate that. Hey, I'm spitting hot fire, man. I don't say shit unless I mean it. Unless I tell you it's a joke. Or I tell you, hey, I don't mean it. Or, hey, I'm personally being sarcastic. When I say something, I mean it. I mean it. Strawberry is having 2 safeties named Makuba and Mustafa would be fire. It would be caveman setting a fire kind of type vibe. Definitely. I mean, Makuba, Mustafa, that kind of has, guess what? We can call, if we got Makuba, do you know what nickname we can call him? You want to know what nickname we can call him? Get ready for it. Are you ready? M&M's. Name them M&M's. That would be the name of our safeties. If we got Makuba and Mustafa, we can call them M&M's. Boom! Tell me that's not clever. Tell me that's not dope. Tell me that's not a good name. M&M's. Let's do it. Let's get M&M's up in here, man. My favorite candy, my second, tied for my first favorite candy. Now, it is what it is. Bowl prediction, Niners secondary will be top 5. If they nail their 3rd corner in the draft, which is probably where they're going to get it, it's definitely not impossible. It's definitely a possibility. I'll say Membu's weakness is sometimes his feet get behind him too quick near the QB, and I want to trust his anchor more consistently. Now get fixed because you know Chris Forrester is so good. He's so great. He's great. I'm just joking. All right, I got to bounce here soon, but I got to bounce out here soon. Dallas showing some love. That's what I like to see. Wolfie Jelly, I want to be snuggling him anytime. Damn. I do have that fluff now. I do have that dad bod. I had that dad bod fluff, so it's realistic. You're not lying. You're not lying. Jair Brown, the Browns M&M, the Brown M&Ms. No, you know what? Jair Brown and Mustafa are BM. The irritable BM, the irritable BMs. That's what we gotta call Brown and Mustafa. We're gonna call them Brown and Mustafa. We're gonna call them the irritable BM. I'm getting the giggles. I gotta bounce out of here soon. So I'm gonna go through a couple comments. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm getting like the giggles and shit, and then I'm acting stupid at this point. Irritable BMs. I'm just saying the irritable bowel movements. It works out. One could even say they are chocolate. Damn. One. April Fool's says Terror Dome. I hate April Fools. April Fools is evil. It's evil. I can make your mama joke for Jason. All right. I think we're all getting a little riled up now. I think we're all getting a little feeling it. But I think that's what a weakness is, that easy to fix, especially since he's early 21. He's young too. What do I do for work? I work from home. I work. I won't get into details about it. I like to keep that kind of personal, but I do work from home. Please go for it. No, I'm gonna accuse myself. It's not a dad bod. It's a father figure. For sure. Oh no, Tara, no. What's your April Fool's joke? I don't know. Jason, just like I slid into. Oh damn. Okay. All right. Imagine falling for my joke. Damn. All right. We didn't end up with any fake trade rumors today. Kind of disappointing. I mean, it's kind of obvious, really. You know what I mean? It's kind of like this is the moment, this is the time, right? So, and people aren't going to fall for it. There was some like rumors like Tyreek Hill trade or something else of that nature, right? But there wasn't really anything for the 49ers. I like that. I love that. I love that for the most part. Every 49ers content creator stayed away from it and just stayed away from the whole stupid holiday. I hate April Fools. I think it's stupid. Maybe it's PTSD from something I don't remember as a child, but I really don't like that holiday. Forrester's great. April Fools. Forrester is excellent, man. You guys are underestimating Brendel. Okay? Brendel is actually solid. Do you know how long Brock Purdy holds on to the ball? Okay? Brock Purdy holds on to the ball way too long, and Brendel has to hold on to a guy for 10 minutes? What do you expect him to do? Have a tea party with the guy? Okay? April Fools. It's kind of hard to say, but all right. I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for being part of this. Terra Dome came a little bit late, but I still appreciate but I appreciate you coming up in here, man, and showing some love. Be sure to check out Terra Dome's channel. We do have a show on Thursday, so be sure to be there on Thursday at 9 a.m. The Wolfie and Terra Dome show. Him and I, we talk for freaking hours, man. It just the chemistry is just off the charts. And you guys got to be part of that. Got to be part of it. It's going to be dope. It's going to be fun. Most likely there will be a mock draft. It's going to be a blast. Thank you, Salvador, for being part of this live, man. You were awesome. Thank you for supporting, hitting that like button per usual. Terra Dome, thank you so much. 49ers Media, sorry about how you like the internship, man, but I'm assuming the internship is really important and you got something important going for you, and that's all that really matters, man. Strawberry, as always, thank you so much for being part of this and supporting the channel, man. I always appreciate your takes. Truly, truly do. Jeff, love your analysis. I love your opinions, man. Even though I don't always agree or we disagree a lot, but I do like the fact that you come up in here and you have an opinion and you're strong about it, and you got takes. I appreciate that. Jason, go check out Jason's channel. He's a 49ers content creator, has great content. Be sure to check him out. He's a good guy. Him and I disagree a lot, but still a good guy, still good content. Go check him out. Val, per usual, OG. Can't forget about Val. Always supporting the channel. Always making sure there's a like. Big deal. Big W. JCK519, I think was his name. Thank you so much for being part of this live. I appreciate you. Joe Boyd, you're not always the most positive person, but that's okay. You're still peaceful at that, and that's all that matters. You come up here and support the channel. I appreciate that. I want to say there's one more person. I think that's the meat of the bone. That was the meat of the bone. Thank you guys. Oh, Juan, as usual, thank you so much for supporting the live and helping. And Jake, too, thank you so much for being part of this, supporting the live. You guys are awesome. And shout out to Juan for being the first person in here. Big W. You get a gold star, being the first person in here. Show him what's up. And the first comment was, Kyle looks old as hell. He does look old. So, all right, guys, to everyone who watches this later, be sure to sub if you haven't subbed already. Helps out my channel. You become part of the Wolf Pack. You become a part of the conversation, because at the end of the day, this entire live, this entire channel is just one big conversation, and it's absolutely nothing without you. And I would love for you guys to be part of this conversation. And of course, be sure to like the live, because every time you like the live, it helps the channel, helps spread the word out, and spreads the seed everywhere, and everyone can just take the seed and we grow together. Okay. And of course, every single like makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, Niner gang, baby. Bang, bang.